This is United Network News with Sunny Galt, Calen Gipp, Kimberly Gogan, and our field messengers from around the world. Here's today's real news.
It's Wednesday, November 12th, 2025, and here are today's stories. Could handing out cash be the key to ending poverty? In Kenya, direct cash transfer programs are putting money straight into people's hands. But does it really transform lives long term? A Romanian museum that's home to a legendary serpent is closing its doors after years of neglect. What's behind the mystery of the ancient Gion and the uncertain future of this historic treasure? From green to blue, a new wave of environmental thinking is changing how we see the planet's oceans. The blue economy promises sustainability and profit, but can it really deliver both? Plus, a community where people gather not for protest or politics, but to bring light to the world. We'll take you inside one of the planetary cities of light. Japan's centuries-old Gion Matsuri turns faith into festival. We'll show you how ancient tradition still shapes modern life. And finally, they're fast, fun, and eco-friendly, but also a growing safety concern. E-scooters are rolling into controversy across Europe. What cities are doing to rein them in? Direct cash transfer programs in Kenya give money directly to eligible households to meet basic needs or invest in businesses. They come in different forms: one-off lump sums, regular monthly payments, and sometimes transfers tied to things like clinic visits or school attendance. The idea is to reduce poverty, boost livelihoods, and test how cash affects health, education, and social outcomes. One of the most well-known cash transfer programs in Kenya is the Hunger Safety Net program, which targets vulnerable communities in arid and semi-arid regions. This program provides regular cash payouts to households in need, helping them meet basic expenses and avoid falling into extreme poverty. Studies have shown recipients of these funds are more likely to invest in education, healthcare, or small businesses, leading to long-term benefits for their families. Alongside large-scale government initiatives like the Inua Jamii program, which delivers $15 monthly to 1.7 million people, some non-governmental organization initiatives, such as Give Directly, target specific villages. Unlike traditional aid organizations that often dictate how recipients should spend money, direct cash support has proven people experiencing poverty are best equipped to decide how to invest in their own lives. For instance, a study in Kenya gave $500 with no conditions, leading to surprising results like increased business revenue, higher savings, and improved well-being within 2 years.
Business revenues were up 65%. Families saved more and ate more. Kids were doing better in school. There was less alcoholism, depression, domestic violence, and inequality between families. And these impacts weren't unique to Aenyo. Since this study, direct cash giving has become one of the most researched poverty interventions, and it's consistently shown impacts that often exceed traditional aid programs. In fact, a subsequent study spanning hundreds of Kenyan villages found the surrounding economy grew by more than twice what was given out just a year after the cash transfers. However, direct cash giving isn't a silver bullet. Poverty is a generational issue that requires long-term changes to solve. And since this intervention is relatively new, we still don't fully understand the effects of cash giving on extended timelines.
When women get cash directly, the benefits often hit differently.
and sometimes even bigger. They usually gain more control over household decisions and feel a real boost in confidence and mental well-being. One of the most evident impacts of direct cash transfers is on health and infant mortality. For instance, a study by the National Bureau of Economic Research found unconditional cash transfers in rural Kenya cut infant deaths by almost half and reduced deaths among kids under 5 by 45%. Women also tend to spend more on their children and household essentials, and there's even evidence cash transfers help lower rates of domestic violence. Many women use the money to start small businesses, like selling vegetables or making clothes, which gives them more independence and keeps their families financially steady. In time, homes get better food, stronger roofs, and fewer hungry days. Research shows female-led households that receive cash show higher savings and fewer high-interest loans.
Changamoto ilikuwa ni njia ya kupatia pesa. Naweza kosa pesa ya kununua unga, naweza kosa pesa ya kulipia watoto shule.
Nilipohitimu masomo yangu ya darasa la 8, tulikuwa tuko watatu, lakini mzazi hakuwa na uwezo wa sote kwenda second. Kachagua kwenda ufundi wa kusona nguo.
Kabla give direct haijafika huku kwetu, mimi nilikuwa sina nyumba ambayo naweza jistiri vizuri pale ndani ya nyumba, manake kwenye mimi nilikuwa nalala, kukinyesha maji yanaingia. Tulipewa 110,000, nusu yake zile za kwanza ndo nilitumia nikajenga nyumba, nusu nyingine nikachukua nikatumia kwa chakula.
Ile pesa ilinisaidia na nikakaa nikafikiria nikikula tu chakula itaisha, alafu tarudi yale maisha pale nyuma. Ndio nikafikiria nianzishe biashara ya kufungua mitumba. Tangu nifungue hii duka yangu ya nguo hapa, ninaona imebadilisha mahali pakubwa sana. Ninajisikia furaha sana nikiwa kama mimi mwanamke naweza tengeneza pesa yangu, nitengeneze familia yangu vizuri.
Pesa ya give imebadilisha maisha yangu, kunipa uwezo wa kujisimamia mwenyewe. Niliweza kununua mashine yangu na hata kujiwezesha kununua material.
Pale unaona kuna mazuri, warembo wakija pale wanafurahi. Mpaka nimepata uwezo wa kuajiri mtu ananufaika kutoka kwangu.
Cash transfers don't just help with daily needs. They make a big difference in education, too. When families have extra money, they can cover school fees, uniforms, and supplies without stress. This means fewer dropouts, especially for girls who often face financial or cultural barriers. It also opens doors for better jobs and higher education down the line. These funds often allow women to attend vocational training or literacy programs themselves, empowering them toward further personal and economic growth.
Kenya's experience shows direct cash transfers aren't just about helping people get by. They're about giving them dignity and choice. But for these programs to really make a difference, they need to consider local realities and gender dynamics. When done right, they can create lasting benefits for women, their families, and the entire community.
Constanța's Museum of History and Archaeology in Romania, home to the ancient serpent Gion, has closed after years of stalled repairs, leaving its future uncertain. UNN Field Messenger Monica reports on the challenges threatening this historic landmark.
Hi, this is Field Messenger Monica reporting from Romania for United Network News. While preparing the presentation of the Gion, a one-of-a-kind statue and the most important piece in the Constanța Museum of History and Archaeology's collection, I learned of the museum's closure for rehabilitation. In one of this museum's galleries lives an ancient serpent. It is Gion, also known as the fantastic snake with a lamb's snout, human-like ears and hair, a lion's tail, and a snake's body, all carved in marble. I'm not sure if I'll be able to continue filming this statue anytime soon. Currently, it rains on the top floor, and during heavy rain and wind, fragments of plaster and roof tiles come loose. Fences have also been erected in the area to protect passersby. Initially, I was happy to hear about the rehabilitation of the museum building because it had long been in an advanced state of decay. I later found out that rehabilitation is a hard nut to crack. The most imposing building in the old city center of Constanța, built more than a century ago, still has not been rehabilitated despite receiving its first EU grant almost 10 years ago. The project to rehabilitate the historic monument building started as early as 2016. It took 3 tenders organized by the Constanța County Council for a firm to apply for and win the contract, only to abandon it later. Even now, the History Museum in Constanța cannot undergo rehabilitation as the 5th tender launched by the County Council has been challenged and ended up in court. The project consists of revitalization work on the stone and brick masonry, restoration work on the facades and roof, and interior restoration work. The aim is to protect the historical heritage that the building houses. The museum is at risk of losing EU funding due to repeated tenders. At this point, all that is being done is waiting for the court's decision. The museum's state of degradation is visible to the naked eye. Employees have already moved out of the building, and artifacts of heritage value must be moved and stored elsewhere. Without a quick solution, heritage of national importance risks becoming the victim of inadequate infrastructure. Thank you for listening. Bye.
When people talk about the future of our planet, we usually hear about green energy, green jobs, green living. But lately, another color has joined the conversation: blue. It's called the blue economy, and it's all about how we use our oceans, seas, and waterways, not just to make money, but to do it in a way that actually keeps these ecosystems alive and healthy. Sounds great, right? But like anything involving big money and natural resources, it's complicated. At its core, the blue economy is about finding a balance between growing the economy and protecting the environment. It includes traditional industries like fishing, shipping, tourism, and aquaculture, as well as newer areas like offshore wind, marine biotechnology, and even seabed mining. The idea is simple. Oceans can provide food, energy, jobs, and innovation if we use them responsibly. The concept gained attention after the UN Rio 20 conference in 2012, but scientists warn it's not always easy in practice. Human activity in the oceans has surged in recent years, a trend called blue acceleration. Desalination plants, cruise ships, pipelines, and proposals for deep-sea mining are putting growing pressure on marine ecosystems.
What do these fishermen, this container ship, and your summer holidays at the beach have in common? Well, they all belong to the blue economy. From fishing and tourism to renewable energy and biotechnology, millions of people rely on the sea to make a living. But even clean solutions come with their own set of challenges. Take offshore wind energy. Yes, it generates some of the cleanest electricity on the planet. But building these massive turbines, not so great. Environmental groups call out the disruptive noise generated during construction, which can harm marine life. And wind energy isn't the only sector walking a tightrope. Ocean tourism is adopting more sustainable practices, but some level of environmental damage remains inevitable. And hydrogen-powered ships could revolutionize transport, but most hydrogen is still produced using fossil fuels like gas, coal, and oil. Only about 1% comes from renewable energy. So, while technologies are rapidly improving when it comes to sustainability, it's not always possible to eliminate harmful consequences for the planet completely.
The impact is especially clear in the Mediterranean, along Spain's Costa Brava, one of Europe's top coastal destinations, where new industrial projects are putting marine life, local culture, and communities that have cared for these waters at risk. According to ICM, one of Spain's leading research institutions, the amount of fish caught and brought to shore has dropped by about 60% since 2000, and the number of fishing boats has fallen by roughly 60% as well. At the same time, recreational boating spots have increased by around 65%, and cruise passenger numbers in major ports have surged by more than 5,700%. Without careful management, both the environment and the people who depend on it could face serious consequences. Addressing these concerns now is vital. The blue economy is projected to double from its 2010 level and reach around $3 trillion by 2030, according to the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development.
We don't nearly think enough about the oceans, but our well-being is intrinsically tied to the seas. 3/4 of the world's megacities are located by the sea, and the oceans provide coastal communities with food and minerals while generating oxygen and absorbing greenhouse emissions. The oceans also mitigate the impact of climate change. They determine weather patterns and temperatures, and serve as highways for seaborne trade. Roughly 90% of the volume of world trade is carried by sea, and the international supply chains that link ports and communities are essential for those who seek to gain access to global markets. However, our relationship with the oceans and how people exploit its resources is evolving in significant ways. As the human population continues to increase, our terrestrial reserves will come under stress, and we will increasingly turn to the oceans as a source of protein, energy, as well as non-market goods and services.
Coastal communities often feel these impacts first, and yet they're frequently left out of decisions about the waters they rely on. Industrial expansion may bring short-term profits for corporations, but it's local people and ecosystems that often pay the price. In Indonesia, the push for a blue economy has fueled growth in shipping, aquaculture, and offshore energy, but it has also put pressure on coral reefs, mangroves, and the livelihoods of coastal communities who depend on these ecosystems.
Laut untuk Raja Ampat adalah kehidupan.
Laut memberi kita hidup. Laut memberi kita makan. Laut menghibur kita. Laut menopang perekonomian kita.
Sebelum adanya pos penjagaan ini, wilayah kami sangat rawan dengan masalah pemboman.
Tahun 90-an itu ini laut ini hancur.
Ekonomi laut yang berkelanjutan bukan jargon semata.
Laut adalah masa depan kita. 73% dari para wilayah NKRI adalah laut.
Karena ikan dan tangkapan lainnya adalah sumber penghidupan kita. Karena laut yang bersih dari sampah menopang sumber pangan dan mata pencaharian kita. Mari kelola laut secara berkelanjutan untuk kesejahteraan Indonesia. Karena laut membuat kita sejahtera bersama.
The challenge with the blue economy today is finding the right balance. Experts are calling for an approach that puts ecosystems, cultural heritage, and community well-being at the center of ocean development, not just for profit. The blue economy is full of promise, offering ways to feed people and create jobs, but it only works if we get it right. Treating the oceans as an endless industrial frontier risks destroying the very foundation that makes a blue economy possible: a healthy, resilient ocean.
Tired before the day begins? NAD Plus levels drop 50% after 40. NAD Plus helps your cells bounce back fast. Most supplements give precursors. NAD Plus skips the breakdown, delivering direct, bioavailable power. Support your energy, metabolism, sleep, and stress levels at the cellular level. Join the NAD Plus revolution. Start your journey to a healthier you. Subscribe today.
Hey, I'm Kirsten from Switzerland.
This is Wayne from Tucson.
Hi, my name is Desmond from Ghana.
I am Claudia from Dawsonville, Georgia.
I'm Mikey from Pretoria, South Africa.
Hi, I'm Steve McGrath, Fort McMurray, Alberta, Canada.
People from all around the world are coming together.
Happy day, beautiful world. We are here in a rather small urban garden, and this video is just to show you the joys that we've had in this garden with the electric gardening.
When news happens in their area, they show us what's really going on.
We have people in the streets protesting for and against.
At United Network News, our field messengers are changing the face of news.
This is Field Messenger Helen reporting with Nature, and I'm going to talk to you about the bees again.
Take the next step in restoring our planet. Become a UNN Field Messenger today.
Hi, I'm Stephanie from South Africa. If it's going to be, it's up to me.
If it's going to be, it's up to me.
It's up to me.
It's up to me. It's up to me.
It's up to me.
It's up to all of us. We're UNN, and we're taking back the news.
The planetary cities of light are places in the world where people come together to bring light to the Earth. UNN Field Messenger Ocean brings us one of these places.
Hello, this is Ocean Melchizedek. I'm giving a Field Messenger report from New York, the United Kingdom, about our planetary city of light. And so, Hannah, what is a planetary city of light?
A planetary city of light is a designated area selected by a group of dedicated light workers, planetary healers, people that are interested in helping heal the planet. And it can be in a city, or it can be in a town, it can be in a village, and it's delineated by a group of crystals which have been placed in a perimeter around the area. And people will work regularly to keep the energy within that space.
So what's the purpose of the planet?
It's to bring higher fifth dimensional light to the area, to that particular area, and hopefully for it to radiate out into further areas, really. And the idea is also to create as many as possible within a county or within a country, to bring more light up the world, to create an interconnectedness between the different PCOLs, and also intergalactically we can communicate with intergalactic PCOLs as well, so that they can all start to communicate with each other.
So how many have been created so far?
Worldwide, I think there's about 100. There's also there are planetary ocean reserves of light that's working with ocean territory and waterways, so river dams, lakes.
So if you'd like to set up your own planetary city of light, contact the group of 40.
Japan's Gion Matsuri is one of the country's 3 largest festivals. Rooted in Shinto tradition, it's a ritualistic celebration where people express their faith, give thanks, and offer prayers to their gods, ancestors, and spirits. UNN Field Messenger Kazue brings us the full story.
Hello, this is Kazue, a field messenger in Osaka, Japan. Today I report on Gion Matsuri in Kyoto. Gion Matsuri, or Gion Festival in Kyoto, is one of the 3 largest festivals in Japan. Matsuri's main purpose is not for entertainment, though they use the word festival. Matsuri is a Japanese Shinto's religious ritualistic event to express their faith, appreciation, prayer, and appeasement for their gods, ancestors, and spirits. Gion means Zion. Shinto literally means God's way. Matsuri typically involves the divine processions to purify the Shinto shrine's protecting area by carrying the gods in the portable shrines, like sacred religious palanquins called omikoshi or mikoshi. Gion Matsuri of Kyoto started in the 9th century to appease the vengeful spirits who were causing natural disasters and epidemics. Gion Matsuri and its ritualistic events take place over the entire month of July. The main events are 2 Yamahoko a week apart processions and the eaves in front of them. Yamahokos are the decorated floats for Gion Matsuri. Yamahokos, 34 in all, purify the round-trip paths of the gods from Yasaka Shrine, formerly Gion Shrine, to Otabisho, that is the god's lodge or temporary abode. Here you can see the 3 mikoshis, which are portable shrines that carry deities or gods resting at Otabisho. The large Yamahokos have the roof and weigh about 13 tons or 12,000 kilograms and are over 25 meter or 82 feet tall to the top and 8 meter or 26 feet to the roof. Also, those large ones carry the local people playing Matsuri musical instruments like the drums, flutes, and gongs. About 40 to 50 people proceed a Yamahoko float by pulling the 2 long ropes bound to the axle. It is a big attraction to watch how they make a turn by putting bamboo cuts in and out under the wheels. Yamahoko floats are decorated with the traditional Japanese and foreign arts and crafts historically. For example, Takayama Yamahoko was revived in 2022 after about 200 years, and its decorations were restored as they were 200 years ago. Its 3-layered mizuhiki fabric covering the top of the body was meticulously hand-woven and restored by a skilled textile company in Kyoto as it used to be. Antique Turkish carpets are used on the front and back of the trunk, and Persian carpets that were made over 2 years in an Iranian workshop are used for the sides. The motifs of crabs, lotus flowers, pomegranates, and more are reproduced as before. It is said that this year about 580,000 people in total came to see Gion Matsuri's main events. That's 40,000 less than the last year due to the heavy rain on the first procession day. This over 1,150-year-old tradition in Kyoto continues. Thank you for watching. This was a United Network News Field Messenger report from Kazue in Osaka, Japan.
E-scooters have become a popular mode of transportation in recent years, thanks to their convenience and eco-friendly appeal. However, alongside their rise in popularity, concerns have emerged about their safety and impact on urban spaces. Governments across Europe are implementing new regulations, and some cities have gone so far as to ban them outright due to increasing challenges. Since 2018, rental e-scooters from brands like Voi, Tier, and Lime have popped up all over Europe, especially in cities where short trips, tourists, and pricey parking make them super convenient. They're fast, eco-friendly, and easy to park, but also risky. accident rates have climbed as more scooters hit the streets, often due to careless riding or poor safety habits. Common problems include collisions with pedestrians, falls on rough roads, and riders skipping helmets. Abandoned scooters also clutter sidewalks, blocking paths for people and wheelchairs. To curb the chaos, many European cities have introduced rules like helmet requirements, speed caps, and parking zones. However, despite these efforts, critics argue enforcement remains inconsistent, leaving some areas more chaotic than others.
And during one weekend, the city police discovered almost 1,000 misdemeanors or breaking violations of certain rules. And now, let's be fair. If you're a tourist in Prague and you rent one of these, the chances of you violating some rule are very, very high. I mean, it's not only one-way streets everywhere, the fact that you cannot ride on the sidewalk, the fact that cobblestone is everywhere, the fact that there's traffic signs you most likely do not understand because you're from another part of the world. You cannot ride in two people on the scooter, which is most cases we saw. And if you're under 18, you must wear a helmet. Good luck following all these rules.
Prague, the Czech capital, is the latest European city to ban shared electric scooters, with the new rules set to take effect from January 2026. Several major cities have already restricted or banned shared rental scooters due to concerns over parking, reckless riding, and safety. Paris banned free-floating rentals in September 2023, while Madrid followed a ban in October 2024. Spanish cities like Malaga also suspended operator licenses in early 2025. In June, Finland banned children under 15 from using e-scooters and requires rental companies to get municipal licenses. These actions are part of a broader European trend to tighten e-scooter rules and improve safety, addressing thousands of annual injuries.
A growing chorus of concerns from the Netherlands' 5 largest cities is calling into question the future of e-bikes, fat bikes, and electric scooters on traditional bike lanes. Ahead of a key road safety debate in Parliament, aldermen from Amsterdam, Rotterdam, The Hague, Utrecht, and Eindhoven are demanding the power to locally ban certain fast or bulky electric vehicles from bike paths, citing rising accident numbers and outdated infrastructure. Among their proposals, rerouting large cargo bikes to the road, pausing the approval of new light electric vehicles, and standardizing a 30 km/h speed limit across municipalities to reduce risk and reclaim safety.
E-scooters aren't just a European headache, they're stirring up problems all over the world too. In the U.S., cities like Houston are thinking about banning them downtown because of safety issues. Over in Toronto, it's actually illegal to ride e-scooters on public roads, bike lanes, or sidewalks. Meanwhile, Melbourne pulled the plug on its shared e-scooter program in August 2024, citing safety concerns, particularly concerning people riding on footpaths and a lack of helmet use. While e-scooters are often praised for being eco-friendly and reducing traffic, it's clear they come with their fair share of challenges. From risky rides to cluttered sidewalks, better rules and smarter management are needed to make them work for everyone. Whether it's stricter safety measures, designated parking zones, or simply more responsible riding, cities, companies, and riders all have a role to play. Now it's your turn. Join our weekly meetings and become a field messenger. More information is available at our website, unitednetwork.earth. We're UNN, and we're taking back the news.